In Psalm 92, one of the verses says, "They still bear fruit in old age. They are ever full of sap and green." We are a group of people who like the written word, who are generally readers. It kind of starts there, I think. We are readers. We're writers because it's really fun to put together a really great phrase, you know, something that says it just the way you want. It's like, whoa, I like that, you know, I wrote that. That kind of thing. I don't know. We're just a group of people, ordinary people. The preface to the book, to several of our books, I always write the preface, and it kind of tells who we are. We're just ordinary people. We're not professionals, and we are not a critique group. We do not critique each other. We just read and listen and enjoy. That's it. We accept all the writings for what they are, the work of somebody's mind and thoughts and feelings, and it's great. We get to know each other. It's such an inspiration to come to Scribblers and hear people's stories. People tell their stories, and we inspire each other. And I think that's why I started writing, really, because I heard all the different stories and the different styles and the different voices, and just said, wow, I love this, I can do this, and began writing on my own then. So. Some were writers before. We have had, through the years, of course the cast constantly changes, through the years we've had writers who were published, who were pretty much professionals, and then we've had people like myself who probably wouldn't have gotten into it except that they came to Scribblers, they were inspired, and for many of us it's a matter of telling our stories for our children and grandchildren, putting them down on paper. Things we wish that the next generations knew, and memories, just things, you know, that pop up. For a lot of us, that's kind of where it starts, and then creativity, you know, kind of sneaks in there, and then we start thinking about poetry and just expressing feelings and thoughts, and it grows. It just, I don't know, I think for most of us, I'd say that's kind of the story, is that we came, we tried, and we said, "Ooh, I like this." It starts with every week we get together and read stories to each other. I make a note each week of who read what, and I put a little asterisk beside those that just blow me away, that I think, oh wow, that's good. And then when it comes time to put together another group of stories for a book, I go back through and pick those out, and then I ask each scribbler for copies of those stories, and then we compile the book from those. So it's kind of like, I don't know, the ones that struck me mostly, or people sometimes submit other things they would like us to consider, and we often include those. This newest book has more stories from each person than we would normally do. If we had more people, it had fewer stories. So we put together around a 200-page book. And it's just a collection of our stories, long and short, poetry, just everything. This book, this was just inspired, I think, the title, Evergreen Winter. There is, in Psalm 92, one of the verses says, "They still bear fruit in old age. They are ever full of sap and green." And in my preface, I mentioned how here at Otterbein we have so many things to do. We have so many activities, new things to learn, things to do. And in writing, we're creating. In the Creative Arts Center, we're creating. In music, we're creating. we are still green. We are in the winter of our lives. Most of us are. Most of my friends are in their 80s and 90s. And we are still creating. We're still green. We're not shriveled up and done. You know, we are evergreen. Here at Otterbein, as I said, it's always an evergreen winter because that's just the way life is here. We have much to do.